All right, welcome, fam. Today we're talking about habits of a platinum. These are things that you should start implementing now in order to become platinum, right? We don't want to wait until we're a platinum in order to do those things. We want to go ahead and start implementing them now. So I hope everybody has pen and paper. If you don't, go get it or pull up some way to take notes on your phone because I want you guys to really write these things down, really start implementing them. I even went to some of the other platinums to say like, hey, this is what I have. Is there anything you want to add? Right? Is there anything I'm not thinking of? Or anything that they do that they feel like is necessary, right, to share with you guys. The reason that I want to share these is because I know a lot of people will complain about, I have a hard time with retention. I have a hard time holding my rank. I have a hard time getting to the next rank, right? Whatever it may be. So I'm hoping that by sharing these with you guys can start implementing those so that you do hold your ranks, so that you do get to the next rank, so that you can be a platinum someday in the future, right? Our goal for you guys is to always have you as successful as you want to be. If that's platinum, if that's 1 star, if that's 8 star, right? Whatever it is, we want to help you get there. We want to see all of you walk across the stage, take your plaques, have a very successful team, right? Change your life, basically. So we want to share these things. I want to share these things with you so that you have them and so that you can start implementing them now. Okay. So, first and foremost, this is something that I do daily and usually multiple times a day. And that is to check my back office. Okay. Now, when I say check my back office, I don't mean I just log in, I look at the number, and then I'm like, okay, cool, that's what it is, whatevs, and I move on. That's not what I mean. When I say that I check my back office, I mean that I log in, I look at the number of overall people, right, that I have, and I'm going to share my screen here because I got logged in. I look at the overall number right here. Guys, I know my number. Okay. I know that number. I know it before I go to bed so that in the morning, if that number is different, I can tell you, right? I know this number. I might be 1 or 2 off if I forget to check it right before bed. If I forget to check it, I might be 1 or 2 off, depending on how many people we brought in that day. But I know that number. Okay. When I log in, and I do this first thing in the morning, y'all, like sometimes before I even get out of the bed, I log in to my back office and check my numbers. When I do, even if it looks like we haven't lost anybody, okay, let's say last night when I went to bed, it was 7:09. This morning when I woke up, it was 7:09 and there was nothing, right? Like it looks like there was no change. I still run it, okay? I still run the numbers. So I'm going to go over here to my team. I'm going to go to my downline and I'm going to pull up and I'm going to put in today's date. Okay. For the start and the finish. That way it only pulls up today's date. And then you can see right here, show active agents that came off monthly billing in this date range due to 3 declines. That means they went inactive. It means their monthly fee did not charge. Then you have show agents that canceled within this date range. I always start with the inactive. Okay. So I'm going to check this little box right here. And then I'm going to come down here. This will automatically say 10. All I'm going to do is erase the 1 and I'm going to leave it at 0. Now, when you don't have a big team, that's not as big of a deal, but get in the habit early because when you get to platinum and above, that is going to make a difference. Okay. So you're going to put it as 0 and then you're going to say show list view. Now, this shows you one person came off last night. One person went inactive. Okay. Now, generally, what I do is I go to this sponsor box. I will usually highlight this, copy it. I'll go run my numbers again, but I'll input this sponsor number so that I know where that one fell off at. I know whose team they're on, right? Now, there's two different ways to do this, and you can use a mixture if you want. If I run this number and it's a newer agent, a newer team builder, let me rephrase that, a newer team builder, or if it's somebody that's not super plugged in, then I will go right over here and grab this phone number and I will message this person. Hey, Sarah, this is Ashley Hollowell, your direct platinum in the travel business. I noticed that your account went inactive today and I just wanted to check in. Is everything okay? Right? Some people don't even know that their account went inactive. They have no idea. I've had a number of people message me back and be like, it shouldn't be inactive. I have my card in there, but for some reason it declined. Right? So I will message them. Now, if this is one of my agents, I run this sponsor ID number, and this is one of my agents that is plugged in. They're very active, right? All of that. I will reach out to them. I saw Ivy was on here. I'm gonna use her as an example. If this was Ivy's agent ID, I would reach out to Ivy. Hey girl, Sarah Reed went inactive last night. Can you make sure that you reach out to her? Right? Let me know what she says back. Like, let me know what she says when you reach out. Okay. Now, you can do that either way, right? If you want to reach out to them or if you want their mentor to reach out, either one. You could even do, let's say that this was somewhere on Lisa Hetz's team. I could even reach out to Lisa Hetz as another platinum to say, hey girl, this person went inactive last night. They're under whoever. They're on your team. Could you reach out to them? Right? But you want to make sure that somebody reaches out to that person, whether it's you or whether it's their mentor, their direct platinum, or their direct gold, whatever. Okay. Make sure that somebody reaches out because you never know, or you never know if they even know that they are inactive. Okay. As Christina said in the chat, stalk your back office. Stalk it. That's another thing. I don't just check this once a day. I check it multiple times a day. Because here's the thing. I usually text myself, Izzy, unless I have like a personal relationship, like if it's one of my directs and we have a personal relationship, I mean, I could call, but generally I text them. Now, here's why I say do it multiple times, right? Stalk your back office, know your numbers, check it multiple times a day. I'm going to go back and I'm going to uncheck this inactive box and I'm going to check the canceled box and I'm leaving these dates. Okay. Then I'm going to hit show list view. We've had somebody that canceled today, right? Had I not been checking this, had I not checked my canceled, I wouldn't have known that we had somebody that went inactive or that canceled today, right? So now I need to go run this sponsor ID number. I need to see who it belongs to, and I need to let them know, hey, your person canceled. Do you know why? Right? So you want to check this multiple times throughout the day. I'm going to give Christina her props because when she says she stalks her back office, y'all, like, y'all have no idea. She can go in and she can pretty much tell you, oh yeah, your leg has this many, Coco and Lisa's leg has this many, this leg has this many, this person has this many on their account. Like the girl goes deep into her back office. She knows. She might be a couple off, give or take 5, but I promise you, she can tell you exactly where they came from because she knows how many are in that leg. You should know your back office and your team like the back of your hand, right? I know general abouts of where mine are. I don't know specifically numbers, but I can usually guess, oh yeah, they're like in the 40s, they're in the 50s, 60s, right? I generally know those type of numbers. but stock your back office. Know where your people are, know where they fell off from, right? Know those things. Check it multiple times a day. It should be the first thing that you check in the morning. First thing. And then check it multiple times throughout the day. Okay. Next, check your chat. If you are at least, I'm going to say at least a bronze, you should have your own chat, your own team chat. Now, Izzy, girl, I'm saying next payday, my ring. But if you have at least 6 people, you should have your own team chat. Okay, you should have your own team chat. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something that everybody on my team has come to me and said. I said it to Christina. I'm sure Christina probably said it to Amy at one point. It's just the circle of life. But it's this statement right here. Man, my chat is really quiet. My chat's not nearly as active as yours is. I see Ivy laughing and shaking her head because she's like, girl, I said that. Y'all, my chat did not, as I like to say, it didn't get popping until I was a platinum. And when I became a platinum, that is when we had enough people in that chat that people were pretty active in it. They were asking questions, they were posting things, right? That kind of thing. Up until that point, I would go in every morning, I would post the daily schedule, I would pin it, and then I would 3 days out of the week, it was usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Mondays I would post, good morning, happy Monday. It's the start of a brand new week. What are we working on today? What are our goals for this week? I would pose a question, right? I would pose a question about the week, trying to get some engagement from my team. Okay. On Wednesday, happy hump day, y'all. We're halfway through the week. How are we doing on our goals? Have we met any? Are we still working on them? How's everything going? Let's check in, right? On Friday, y'all, the week is almost up. I'm so ready for the weekend. Who completed their goals, right? I would do that multiple times a week, posting questions in there, posting inspirational quotes, right? Y'all, you can post all kinds of stuff in there and get some kind of engagement. Think about it kind of like social media. Like we have like an engagement post, right? We have just like our general post. Like think of it kind of in that same sense. Post trainings. If a training happens that gets recorded like this one, right? If a training happens, when it gets posted into the main chats, and what I mean by that is Infinity, Fuel, JSS, right? Those are like the 3 main chats because all of us stem from those. So when it gets posted in the main chat, that's when you grab it and you put it in your chat. Hey guys, fantastic training that happened today. Go watch it, right? A booking Q&A, a whatever kind of training it is. Go post it in your chat. Don't expect that just because they're in one of those main chats that they're going to see it. Those things are busy. I'm in all of them. I know how busy they are. They're busy, right? Things get missed. So if it's something important, make sure that you always share it into your personal chat so that it's much easier to find, right? Much easier to find. If you're all team builders, so if you have a main chat, you also need to have a team building chat. Now, if you're only executive bronze, maybe silver, if you don't have any team builders yet, then you don't need to make that until you get a team builder, right? But once you have some people on your team that want a team build, you need 2 separate chats, right? We don't want to clog up the main chat with all things team building and vice versa, okay? We want 2 separate chats, and you need to have that when you get your first team builder, okay? Have it separately. While we're on the topic of chats, please do not add your people to a million chats, your new agents. I go in, if it's my direct agent, I just add them to my chat now because I'm a platinum. Before I was a platinum, I added them to my chat and Christina's chat. If, let's say, I'm going to use Ivy as an example. Ivy can add them into her chat and she can add them into my chat. I'm the first platinum that she has, right? She doesn't need to add them into her chat, my chat, and Christina's chat. That's too much. It's too much. Okay. Also, we do not want to add other people into our chats that are not on our team. Right? So like Coco, love Coco to death. That's my girl, right? Coco's not in my chat. She's not on my team. Right? Now, have I thought about adding her so that she can answer some cruise questions? Yes, ma'am. But she's also a platinum, so that could be different, right? But if I added her in my chat and then I'm doing some kind of raffle in my chat, well, she's not on my team. That doesn't apply to her, right? So we don't want to, and then it gets very messy. And I will use this as an example. I'm not going to say any names because I don't know if they're on here or not. But I had one of the agents on my team who allowed someone from Infinity outside of my team into his chat. And then I was doing team building things strictly for my team, and she tried to show up. Well, I had the waiting room on. I wouldn't let her in because I knew she wasn't on my team, right? Well, then it kind of got a sticky situation. And so I had to go to her and be like, hey, I'm so sorry. I'm not even sure how you got the information, right? But it was strictly for my team. And when we kind of figured out how she got there, I had to go have a talk with that person and say like, hey man, like you can't let people into your chat. Or if you do, you have to tell them anything I post that's, from Ashley doesn't apply to you. But it just gets very, very sticky. It gets very convoluted, right? So please do not go around adding people to your chat that are not on your team. It gets very, very messy. Okay. Okay. I said that. Okay. Holding team meetings. And this is important because they need to see your face. Okay. You are their leader. You are their gold, their whatever. You are their leader. You need to be holding a team meeting in order to connect with your team. Guys, you may only have one person that shows up to that meeting, and that's okay. Show up for that one person. When Christina started, she had the same 5 people that were on her meeting. 5. That was it. I think it was 5. May have been less. But she still showed up. And now that number has grown exponentially. There's a ton of people on her meeting, right? Show up for those people, even if it's just one person. Have a one-on-one now. It just became a one-on-one, right? You never know if that one person is going to become your next Amy Cabrera, your next Tommy Joe, your next Christina, your next Coco, right? You never know who that person is going to become. Show up for whoever shows up for you. Now, this is where you can have a little bit of your own style, is how often you have that team meeting and how it is structured. Okay. Christina does hers once a month. Hers is structured very much information giving. Hey, these are some updates. Hey, here's our website. Here's our team page. Here's our raffles. Here's our, it's a lot of information that she gives for the new agent. And then every month she does a top builders and top bookers flyer. And she takes the top 5 builders from that month, puts them in order, and we celebrate them. And then she does the top 5 bookers for the month and we celebrate them. Okay. That's kind of how her meeting is structured. Mine is structured very similar. Mine is very information giving. Sometimes I'll do a little training on something if I learned something cool lately. But it's usually information giving. Mine also happens once a month. Okay. Now, if you go to Coco, Coco does hers weekly. She does hers weekly, and it's not necessarily called a team meeting. I think it's called some accountability, team meet and accountability or something like that. but hers is done weekly, right? Hers is definitely information, but also accountability. What are we working on? What are we doing? Right? Coach Val does hers weekly. Every single Tuesday, she's going to be on with her team. Right? You get to decide how often you have them and what they look like, what the structure looks like, what you're doing on those, right? All of that. But I would say at minimum, you need to have it at least once a month. Okay. I wouldn't do less than once a month. So have that. And like I said, you can decide if you want it to be more information giving like we have, or if you want it to be a training. Some ideas that I would say for that would be you could do a vendor training on that team meeting. You could do a booking Q&A. You could do you could teach on something how to use perks. You could do information. You could do it as a Q&A, right? But have something and stay consistent with that. Have something that you do on a consistent basis, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. Okay. You get to be in control of that, but that is something your team needs to see you on camera. They need to connect with you in order to help with retention, right? I don't know about y'all, but when I get on a training that Christina's doing, I'm like, there's my mentor. Get it, boo. Get it, right? I know she does the same thing for us, right? She'll be like, proud mama moment, right? But they connect with you. They're proud of you for being up there, right? You're connecting with them and they're learning from you, which gives you even more value. Okay? So make sure that you are connecting with them and that you're on there. The other thing is to lead trainings. Now, I'm going to say there's two parts to this. Number one, you should have team-specific trainings for your team, your direct team. So that could be a booking Q&A. That could be a team building thing. That could be a vendor training. That could be whatever. Have team-specific trainings just for your team that you lead. Okay? I do a new agent welcome on Wednesdays, strictly for my team. And all we do is we get on there. I show them the Infinity Way website. I give them the new agent packet and the document that Christina made with the grand list of vendors so that they have those resources. I ask them if they have any questions. I answer basic information for my new agents. I want them to connect with me early in the hopes that they will stay, right? I also let them know they have their mentor. I am an added resource, as Christina says, right? Like I'm just like the cherry on top. If you have questions, please go into our chat. Ask those questions. I'm happy to help, right? We're all here. We're a community. I give them that sense of belonging as early as possible. I do it every single Wednesday. I also on Thursdays have what I call an open Zoom room. This came actually from my previous counseling job because we were all online. Like we counseled on Zoom from our houses. And our boss would always say, my Zoom room is open. And basically it was the idea that if we all worked in an office, she would have said, my door is always open, right? Come into the office. If you need something, my door is always open. But because we're all at home, she was like, my Zoom room is always open. If you need me, if you need to meet with me, let me know. We'll jump on Zoom. So I took that idea and I made it my own to say, I'm going to have an open Zoom room. That Zoom, I get on at 1 p.m. on Thursday, 1 p.m. Central on Thursdays. I get on and it is literally an open forum. Do you have booking questions or need help with a booking? Come on. Do you have team building questions? Come on. Do you just want to come on and work with me and chit chat? Come on. Right? Do you just want to come and jump on and be silent and stare at me? Creepy, but come on. Right? You just want to be in my presence? That's fine. Whatevs, right? But I have it as an open Zoom room. I've had people that they just wanted to come and work with me. Come on, boo. They just wanted to come on and they just wanted to work and chit chat. right? So that's what we did. We sat there, we worked. I was posting mock bookings. I was posting about team building. I was doing stuff, and we were just chit-chatting, right? Sometimes it's nice to just have someone to chit-chat with while you're working, because we're not in an office. We don't share cubicles to where we can do that, right? So sometimes it's nice to just connect with other people. You can have a come work with me. I know JSS, Christina's team, we've had that for years, I feel like, off and on. But a come work with me. Hey, let's just jump on and work together and chit chat. Right? Have team specific trainings, y'all. That creates that team camaraderie. It creates that team pride. And that is something, the earlier that you create that team pride, the better. Right? The earlier that you create that, the better it is, because then they go hard for you in the paint, right? I have told Christina for years, and I have my own team, and trust me, I love my team. That's my number one, right? But I've told Christina for years, listen, I bleed JSS, right? I bleed JSS. Now I got my own team and I bleed them too. But if you were to come for JSS, you were to come for Christina, bro, I'm right there. I'm ready. Let's go. Right? Tommy, a few years ago, tried to challenge us. Right? She's like, oh, let's have a challenge between Team Fuel and Team JSS. And I was like, JSS winning. We winning. I don't even know what the challenge is, but we winning. Right? I go hard. Right? But that's because Christina has created that team camaraderie, that team pride. Right? I love where I'm at. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, right? I try to create that same thing with my team. I love my team. That's my team, right? Henry, sit down somewhere. You ain't whooping nobody in Top Golf. But that's what I'm talking about. Have that team pride, right? Create that from the get-go. And I can tell you, when I hear Christina's name as the top 1 star on Founders Call, I'm pumped. I'm like pumping the air, fist pumping the air, right? Like, yes. When I hear Amy's name, yes, let's go. When I hear Coco's name, right? Because those are my people. That's my team. Like, we're all part of this team. Create that team pride from the very get-go, y'all. The other part of that, of trainings, that was team specific, right? Have trainings for the overall team, for overall Infinity, for overall JSS, Fuel, wherever you fall. Have trainings for the overall team, because here's the thing. We all got to where we are because the people before us provided trainings for the whole team, right? They provided for the overall. They didn't forget about where they came from. Provide trainings for the overall team, because that is what helps all of us grow, right? Same reason why I open this up to all of Infinity. I want to see all of us grow, right? I do team specific stuff, but I'm going to give back to, as I like to call it, our mama team, or as I don't tell Amy, I call her my grandma, because like Christina's my mama and then Amy's the grandma, and Amy don't like that. So, but I give back to my grandmama team, right? But I give back to the overall, because that team and the people who came before me provided me with trainings that helped me grow. Right? So find some that you can do for your specific team, but then go to your direct platinum. What can I do for your team? Go to all of Infinity. What can I do for your team? Right? What can I open up every now and then? It could be one thing a month, right? You could volunteer for one booking Q&A, one team building Q&A for all of Infinity in a month, but give back to the overall team, because when we do that, it helps all of our teams grow, not just me, right? Like, I could do this just for my team builders and that would help my team grow, but I want all of us to grow. So giving back to the overall team that gave to you when you were here. Be intentional about your day. That's the 6th one. Have a list of things that you need to get done, and have a schedule. You need to have good time management. Where's Ashley Mitchell? Is she on here? She is on here. Girl, don't come for me about your time management right now. I already know you're going to be like, that's what I struggle with, right? I know it. I know. Have a schedule. And if that is, Christina, if that means you got to make it the night before, make it the night before. And here's what I would tell you when you're making a schedule. You write down your most important things, the things that have to get done. It is not an option that these things get done, right? These are my non-negotiables that have to be done today. Write them down the night before so that you have them and you're not wasting time in the morning, and then schedule them in. If you have kids like I do, right? That adds a layer, or you have another job, right? That adds a layer of chaos to our day. Correct? My kids be bananas every day. But it adds a level of chaos. Or if you're a massive booker and you're constantly working on quotes and bookings, right? It adds a level of chaos if you're trying to do both. Schedule in your team building activities. That could be that when you wake up, before you even start looking at quotes or bookings or whatever, you go post a job ad, or you go post on social media, or you go post wherever. Or you're responding to the people from the day before to get them scheduled, right? Then go do your quotes that you need to work on, and then schedule time midday. All right, now I need to go respond to the people from this morning, or I need to go post again, or I need to do this or that, right? Have the non-negotiables. You are in charge of your time. But if you just wake up and you're like, okay, I kind of need to post today. I also got to work on these quotes. Let me just get the quotes out of the way, right? Now we've spent the whole day on these quotes and we never even touched team building, right? And if you are a booker, you do not have to get a quote done in 15 minutes or an hour. Tell them, I'll have a quote to you within 24 hours. If you're super busy, 48, right? Make sure that you are prioritizing the things that you need to get done. Make sure that you are writing them down. Make sure you are setting aside the time to do them. Don't just say, I'll find the time, right? Because that's like, oh, if things work out in the perfect way and I find 15 minutes in my day free somewhere, then I'll do it. No, I'm going to make the time. I'm going to schedule the time, right? So make sure that you have that daily schedule of your non-negotiables, things that have to get done, and then schedule them in. If you have to set a reminder on your phone, set a reminder. If you're in the middle of a quote at the time, take a pause, go do what you got to do for team building, come back, right? Those quotes will still be there. It usually doesn't take too long to do team building things, like posting anyway. But know what needs to get done. Okay, know what is a non-negotiable on that. Be disciplined. Y'all, this is the biggest one. Because if you don't have this in check, these other things don't happen. It takes a great amount of discipline to make a schedule the night before. It takes a lot of discipline to implement it. It takes a lot of discipline to show up for a training. It takes a lot of discipline to manage a team. If you are not disciplined, your whole system is going to fall apart. The whole system. You have to be disciplined and have the right work ethic and mindset if you want to be a platinum. Are there days that I would like to just say, I'm tired. I don't want to do my open Zoom room. I don't want to do my new agent welcome. There's plenty of times because the new agent welcome's in the evening. And usually by the evening, I try not to schedule anything because I'm tired. But I show up because I know that if I don't, my retention is going to fall. I know that my struggle is going to be twice as hard later if I don't do the little bit of work now. So we have to be disciplined in that. That starts with having the right mindset. We do Motivation Monday every single Monday, right? Show up to that. But do things throughout the week as well that work on your mindset. Listen to ET if you have to. Listen to whoever is your like go-to person to get you hyped. Listen to them daily if that's what it takes. Don't hang around negative people, right? Because they are going to suck the life out of you if you do. Don't be around them. If you absolutely have to, like my husband is at a job where he is around negative people, and he was literally just messaging me about this today. He's like, oh, I'm so sick of this. If you have to be around them, you're going to have to work on your mindset twice as hard, maybe 3 times as hard. And that's what I had to tell him this morning. Take a deep breath. Not your monkey, not your circus. You don't have to join the crazy. You don't have to join the negativity just because it's there, right? We can step back. We can step away. We can call someone who is positive and going to help us out, whatever it may be. We don't have to join the crazy just because it's there. We don't have to join in the negativity just because it's around us, right? So find someone that is positive, that you can go to in those situations to be like, all right, I had a whole bunch of negativity coming at me today. I need you to just tell me something positive and let's get it, right? Let's work together for a little bit, whatever it may be. Okay. Also, know your why. Y'all, I'm going to tell you, like Dean Graziosi told a lot of us on a training one time, on a boot camp one time, if your why does not make you cry, it is not deep enough. It's not. And if you can sit here and you can think about your why of why you're doing this, and it doesn't hit you in the heart, it ain't your real why. That's your head voice talking, not your heart voice. I'm going to use Gigi as an example because I know she'll let me. But, and listen, I'm going to make her cry on this call, y'all. $10 says she starts tearing up. I'm telling you, because that's what she does. And that's okay. But Gigi has told me 2 reasons for this business. And every time she tells me those reasons, she breaks down into tears. One is her health, because she gets sick and pretty much on her deathbed, like in the hospital, multiple times every winter because of an autoimmune disorder that she has. If she even steps outside in the cold, she's got pneumonia and she will be in the hospital. She's trying to move to Mexico because down there she never gets sick. She goes multiple times a year. She never gets sick when she goes down there because the weather is great, the sun is out, all of that, right? The weather is pretty much the same year round. She never gets sick when she goes down there. Every time she talks about her health, and she's already crying, I see it. Every time she talks about her health, she starts tearing up. The other one is incredibly important to her. It's her husband and his health. Because even as young as they are, he's had a heart attack. And she said, I cannot let him continue to work like he does and lose him. They've been together since they were in, I think, 7th grade. Is that right? 7th grade, y'all. That's how long they've been together. She said, I cannot lose him. Every time she talks about that, she cries. Those are deep whys. Those are the things that are going to kick her out of the bed in the morning. Those are the things that are going to keep her going on those hard days when she doesn't feel like she can do anymore. It's not about her, right? It's about the bigger picture. It's about life and death at this point. Y'all, yours may not be about life and death, but it needs to be deep enough that it kicks you out of bed in the morning. Y'all know my oldest son is autistic. He can't go to a regular school because he just doesn't feel safe in that environment. And to me, I can never have my child be in a situation where he doesn't feel safe. Safe, right? That should be a God-given right to feel safe in life, but it's not. But I can't put him in that situation, right? And that gets me in the heart every single time. That kind of why. The why that is going to kick you out of the bed in the morning. And Dean Graziosi says, if you have a why, ask yourself, why is this important? Why do I care about this? And ask yourself 7 times to get to the real answer. Because usually we're in our head voice for the first 5. It's not until the 6th or 7th that we truly get into our heart and we get into those deep feelings. And sometimes it's something from childhood, right? Sometimes it's something from childhood that we didn't even realize. You were super poor as a kid. You had to eat off the floor. You were abused. You were whatever, neglected. You never want to have your family go through that, right? It could be something super deep like that. But know your why. And it needs to be one that is going to kick you out of the bed every single morning. Reduce your distractions. Now, if you have kids, I understand that's a hard thing to do, especially for those of us like Christina and I who have a stage 5 clinger. All right. Like, I can't go anywhere without my kid being like, Mom, where are you at? Christina posted a picture earlier today. She was sitting on the couch and her son had his legs over her arm, like in a lock, right? Like, you ain't going nowhere, Mom. I'm right here. Right. We just have to work around that. Try to reduce the distractions that you have so that you can focus on what you're doing and so that you can be more efficient in the things that you do. Attend trainings. This sets a good example for your agents, right? Now, this is something I will say, this is an area I need to work on myself, and I'll be 100% transparent with you. I need to work on this myself, and I do allow my kids to have a little bit of say-so in that, because when I have a training on in my ear and they're freaking nuts, I get overwhelmed very easily. And like, I'm just like, in the nut house, right? I need a straight jacket, padded walls, all of that. So I need to do better about that. But generally, like when they're in school and they're gone for the day, I do jump on trainings because I can actually focus. I can actually listen without feeling super overwhelmed. But show up to trainings, because that shows your agents, oh, hey, they're there. Like, okay, they're a platinum, but they're still showing up, right? They still have things to learn. Oh, cool. I see how important it is to show up to these things, right? Christina shows up to pretty much every training. Amy's Learn and Earn, right? The whatever. She'll show up to all kinds of things. She's setting that example, y'all, that it's important to show up to the trainings so that you can constantly be learning. Hype it up in your chat. Every time that there's a really good training going on, I'm like, hey, y'all better jump on this, right? Or if it started and I notice not a lot of people are on, like Founders Call, where is everybody? Why are you not on this call? Y'all are missing out. You're missing good information. Get on now. I hype it up. I want them to have FOMO. Well, what am I missing out on right now? What's going on? What did I miss? What's happening? Right? I want them to know those things. I want them to know that they are missing something super important. With that is being a leader for others and leading by example. If you show up, they'll show up. Right? And just know this, and you probably already do, but just know they will follow your actions more than your words. Perfect example of this growing up. I'm going to tell on my dad for a minute. Perfect example of this is growing up. My dad used to, and this was back in the 90s. Okay. So just know the times were different, but still, my dad used to have an ice chest right behind his driver's side seat. And I played softball. He was my coach. We would go to softball practice. After the practice was over, he would drink a couple of beers out of that ice chest. We would get in the car. He would be drinking a beer on the way home. Ash, can you hand me another one? I would grab a beer. Y'all listen, I know my childhood was messed up, but I would, and he wonders why I became an alcoholic. Like, come on now. But he would be, hey, can you hand me a beer? So I'd hand him a beer. Tell me when I became 16 and I started driving and these words came out of his mouth. Ash, don't be out there drinking and driving. Tell me how much weight they held. None. Zero. Zero weight meant nothing to me because my entire life he had been drinking and driving with me in the car as a child, right? Your actions speak 10 times louder than the words that you say. I can't tell my team to show up to convention if I'm not showing up. right? How can I tell them, you don't want to miss this? It's the greatest thing on the planet. And then I'm not there. Oh, I thought it was the greatest thing on the planet. Why are you not here? Right? I can't tell my team to show up to when we had regionals, or birthday party, or what, or a team meet. I can't tell them to show up if I myself am not showing up. My actions will speak louder than my words always. Always remember that. If you are showing up to things, they see that. They will follow that much easier than they will follow your words. Build relationships. Get to know your agents. Get to know them. Be invested in their success, not just your own. I shared that story about Gigi. You know why I know those things about Gigi? Because we have a relationship. Because I took the time to talk to Gigi, to build a relationship, to earn her trust for her to tell me those things. Same thing with Ivy. I know Ivy. I know personal things about Ivy. I know personal things about a lot of my agents because I take the time to learn about them, to be there for them, regardless of this business, outside of this business, right? I've had agents come to me and tell me that they went through a miscarriage, that they're going through a divorce, that they lost a loved one, that they lost a job, whatever. And I'm there for them because we build that relationship. It's a people business. Be invested in your agents because I can tell you right now, Gigi ain't going nowhere. And if she does, I'm a 100 down. So she knows better. But she ain't going anywhere because I've invested in her. She feels loved and welcomed and all of that here, right? She has a home right here. And I would go find her. I would track her down, right? Same thing with Ivy. Same thing, even when things get really hard for these people, they know they can come to me and they know that we're going to figure it out and I'm going to help them in any way that I possibly can. And they know they have that support here, so they're not going anywhere. Right? Same thing that Christina told me, you ain't going nowhere because I'll come find you. Right? I know where you live. I know what your address is. We're not going anywhere because we have a family here. Create that. Right? Create that relationship. Invest in your agents. Care about their success more than your own or as much as your own. Right? To lead others, to truly be a leader and lead others requires trust. You guys would not be on this call if you didn't trust that I had some kind of information that I could give you. You wouldn't be here. If I hadn't built that trust in the chats, on other trainings, with my actions, if I had not built that trust in you, you would not be on this call listening to what I was saying. You wouldn't have joined. Same thing with the other leaders. If Amy didn't prove day in and day out that she knows what she's talking about and she didn't build that trust with us, nobody would show up to her Learn and Earn. Nobody would show up to a team building Q&A or a booking Q&A that she does, right? You have to build that trust with your agents and your overall team so that they truly listen and allow you to lead them. Have one-on-ones. Help them succeed. Let agents see that you are real. You're a real person. You're not a computer screen or a text message. You're a real person. Have one-on-ones. I have a phone call one-on-one with all of my new agents that are direct to me. I have a phone call one-on-one with them, usually within a few days of them starting. So it kind of depends on how quickly they get their certification done. But usually once they finish their certification, I have a one-on-one phone call with them within 2 days, 24 to 48 hours. I have that one-on-one with them and I talk to them and I ask them, hey, what are your goals for this business? Are you wanting to do it full-time, part-time? Are you wanting to team build? Right? What is your goal for this business? That way I know how to better lead them. I know if they want to do this full-time, we need to start talking full-time mentality, full-time effort. If they just want to do this for the perks, I know I need to shift gears and I need to talk to them about here's how you can find the best perks. Here's how you can implement those, or you're going to need a CLIA card if you're going to just use the perks, right? There's different information and a different approach that I need to take if that's their goal, right? Know them. If my team comes to me and they're like, hey, Ashley, can I have a one-on-one? Absolutely. Let's do it. Right? We'll schedule that out on Zoom. You want a Zoom? You want a phone call? What do you want? Right? Not too long ago, Ivy came to me. Hey, can we have a one-on-one? We absolutely can. How's tomorrow? Great. We jumped on Zoom. Right? Sometimes they just need a one-on-one to connect with you. Connect with them. Help them. If they're not your direct agent, I'm going to use Lisa as an example because she's my only platinum on my team right now yet. If it was one of Lisa's, if it was an agent under Lisa's leg, let me rephrase that. I could even say, yeah, we can have a one-on-one, but I'm also going to bring in Lisa, who's your direct platinum. Both of us are going to be on, and let's see if we can both help you. I need them to connect with their platinum as well as their 1-star, right? Now you know that you have multiple people you can go to. Have those one-on-ones. Have those phone calls when they start to get that information so that you know how to best guide them. And the biggest thing, and probably the biggest misconception that I have heard from some agents about platinums is what we do on vacation. Y'all know that myself, Christina, Amy, and Coco went on a Virgin cruise, right? Recently, last month. Can I just tell you that we flew down? I was gone for 7 days. Okay. We were on the boat for 5, but Christina and I went a couple of days early. And then Coco and Amy came a day early just because of flights and prices and all that. I was gone for a week. There was not a single day that I was not working. Not a single one. None of us had a single day that we were not working. Now, were we sitting on the ship working 24/7? No, we had a real good time. Okay. Have you seen any of my videos of Christina dancing? Or whatever? We had a lot of fun. But I can tell you that there were still times throughout the day where I was in my chat. Hey, checking in. Hey, let me answer these questions. Here's a training happening. Here's this happening, whatever. Right? We do not fully check out on vacation because as platinums, we have too many things up in the air, too many things to balance for us to fully check out for however long we're gone. Right? Now, can you enjoy your vacation? Absolutely. We had a blast. A blast. Like I have not had that much fun in a long time on a trip, right? Probably because we didn't have kids with us. But I had a blast, but I was still present with my team as much as I could be because I know that if I fully check out for a week, I'm going to lose a bunch of people. Retention's going to go down. I would rather check in here and there on my trip to maintain my retention rather than check out for a whole week and be like, oh, this is blissful. And then come back and I've lost 50 people or 25 people or whatever. Right. Or I've had people that have fallen off and they're not as motivated or whatever. Right. You can go on vacation. You can enjoy your vacation. You don't have to work the whole time you're on, but don't fully check out from your team while you're on vacation because then it hurts your retention. There's nothing wrong with enjoying your vacation. I enjoy my vacation every time I go, but I will still do a little bit of work here and there. I may not do any trainings, right? That's not happening. I didn't do any trainings while I was on that cruise. Anything like that, right? I did not do any of those trainings, but I was still in my chat. I was still checking in. Convention. I'm not doing any trainings. I will still be in my chat. And let me tell you something about convention, because this is one thing that Christina always did. I've never missed a convention since I started. But I can tell you, I did have to miss a Rising Tide boot camp one time whenever I first started. And I know Amy was there. I can't remember if Christina was. But I know that Amy was in the chat and she was posting all kinds of pictures and fun and all kinds of stuff that they were having at that boot camp. And I was on Zoom. Charles allowed people to be on Zoom that wanted to be. I was on Zoom and still had FOMO. I was there on Zoom watching the whole thing, still had FOMO. When you're at convention, post pictures, post funny things that are happening, post about the vendors. If they're sharing valuable information, a vendor is doing a training and they share valuable information, post it in your chat. Hey guys, I'm at our convention. We're having a great time. I'll use Expedia Tap as an example. The Expedia Tap guy just posted about, here's our breakdown of commissions, right? Hotels paid this amount, car rental pays this amount, package pays this amount. I screenshot that and I put it in my chat. Because at some point, someone was going to ask, hey, does anyone know what the commission is on a car rental on Expedia Tap? I sure do. It's pinned in here. I learned it at convention next year. You should totally come. Post about those things. Post fun pictures. When we were on our cruise, y'all saw me posting pictures of us on our cruise and videos in the chats because I wanted people to have FOMO. I want y'all to get to a point where you're coming on these trips and you're doing all these things. Right? Like you're coming to convention and we get to go out and have a good time. I want y'all to do that. So yeah, when I'm at convention, yeah, I'm still posting in my chat. I want people to have FOMO because I don't want them to ever have to miss it again. Right? Listen, that cruise was good. I'm not gonna lie. Mainly because Christina is a hot mess, but a good hot mess. We like to call her a travel vert, right? She's not an introvert, not an extrovert. She's a travel vert. Like her real personality comes out when she's traveling. She get wild. But we had a good time, right? Be posting in your chat. Not too much. Listen, what happens on the boat stays on the boat, okay? Unless it gets recorded and posted on Facebook. But we had a good time. These are all things that you guys can start implementing now. These are all things that when I talk to Christina and Coco and Amy and Tommy and Coach Val and all of these other platinums, when I talk to them about, hey, what are some things that you do? We all had things on this list. We all do these things, right? We all implement these things that are on this list because we know that that's how you get from an executive to a platinum to a 1-star, 2-star and up. So start implementing them now as an executive, as a bronze, as a silver, as a gold, whatever you are. Start implementing them now because those are the things that are going to get you to platinum. You can't wait till you hit platinum to start them. You have to build that foundation. It's like building a house. You got to have the foundation in place first and have it steady and level and solid in order to build the rest of the house on it. These are the foundations that you need to lay in order to build that house on top of that foundation and have it stick, have it stay and be sturdy. Guys, I hope you got something out of today. I hope you took really good notes. And I appreciate you guys showing up. Thank you for allowing me to lead you, teach you, guide you, all of those things. Thank you for showing up. I truly appreciate it. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I can't wait to see more of you guys at platinum and walking the stage, gold, platinum, whatever it is. I want to see all of you guys walk across that stage and get your plaque. I hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you guys later.